Today on LawNext, we're taking you to the conference floor of the CLOC Global Institute, the annual conference of the Corporate Legal Operations Consortium that was held May 15th to 18th in Las Vegas for a series of brief interviews with 22 of the legal tech companies that were exhibiting there. Since the first CLOC Global Institute in 2016, this conference has become a leading event for legal operations professionals and for anybody who works in corporate legal. For that reason, its exhibit hall draws many of the leading legal tech companies that cater to corporate legal, including an abundance of companies offering some flavor of contracts tech, as well as legal services providers, e-discovery providers, and others. This is Ben Ambrogi, and although I was not at CLOC this year, LawNext producer Ben Ambrogi was in attendance, where he ventured into the exhibit hall, mic in hand, and interviewed a cross-section of the companies he met there, garnering brief introductions to what they do and any news they were announcing. Together, these interviews offer a snapshot of what you might have seen had you attended CLOC, or maybe of what you missed even if you were there. We'll get to these interviews in just a second, but first, please take a moment to learn about the sponsors whose generosity supports this podcast. Are you tired of juggling multiple platforms and struggling to keep your practice organized? Bill for Time is the customizable legal practice management solution that can help. With Bill for Time, you can easily centralize your practice by tracking time, automating billing, sharing documents, and more, all in one place. Modernize your internal processes with Bill for Time and focus on what matters most. Visit Bill for Time today to learn more. That's Bill, the number 4, time.com. Today's episode features brief interviews with 22 of the legal tech companies that were in attendance at the CLOC Global Institute, recorded by LawNext producer Ben Ambrogi. In the first of these interviews, we speak with Ironclad, the contract lifecycle management company.
Tell me about Ironclad.
Yeah, Ironclad is an all-in-one contract lifecycle management, really a digital contracting platform. Excels at all types of agreements, sales agreements, procurement agreements, all the way through to click wrap agreements, online, high scale, click to accept, where we capture evidence of a click and exactly what the user saw. That could be, submitted in court in case an online agreement is ever challenged. And so it's really that wide platform of all types of digital contracts that businesses are making. The tone of the conference is AI. We recently launched our first capability we call AI Assist, powered by OpenAI. And what that does is actually allow lawyers to do a faster first-time review, 20x faster first-time review of third-party papers, what we're seeing with dozens of customers who have started to use the product. And it's also able to actually suggest red lines based on your clause playbooks. You can actually ask it to manipulate the contract, change this contract from a one-way NDA to a mutual NDA, and it'll actually go through in track changes mode and make all those changes for you. And a lawyer can review and accept and move on with their day and do the more high-value work of the really, really important provisions and clauses in the contract that need their attention and not the basic work of, just really understanding that contract the first time. We just launched that a couple weeks ago, and then also this week launched our Slack and Teams integration. So you can now interact through the contract lifecycle directly in Slack or Teams, communicate with your teammates in there and keep a record of that on the conversation in Ironclad. You can get notifications on Slack or Teams instead of by email. You can even kick off a new contract. I need an NDA with like a short command, kick it out directly from Slack. And then moving that NDA through the process. The crazy thing about Ironclad is we serve everywhere from one-person legal teams to 30,000 users that are requesting contracts and 2,000 people on the legal team supporting those users. But I think our sweet spot has really been over the last 2 years, moving into the upmarket, moving into companies that either have never used a CLM before and they want to get started. They want to get started with one contracting workflow, or they want to bring in 10,000 contracts that they have and start making sense of them and then expand over time. I think we really see these digital transformers who are really just beginning to think about what their first step is in CLM, it's kind of overwhelming to try to make all that change at once. And so, our sweet spot has been those people that want to get sort of started in CLM, maybe in one division or department or for one specific use case, and then slowly or sometimes more quickly expand throughout the enterprise. As far as differentiating, it's busy here. You can walk around and feels like there's 50 CLM booths. I think we differentiate on two things. One, the breadth of our offering, as I talked about, across sort of the digital contracting landscape. Everything from getting your contract workflows in order to deeply understanding your contracts and your obligations all in one platform. And I'd say the bigger thing is our community and our customers. I mean, Mary O'Carroll is the founder of CLOC, and she's our chief community officer at Ironclad. Our customers help each other. They work together. People, when they use Ironclad, they get to a successful result. They launch quickly, sometimes weeks, days for smaller use cases, and enterprises can get up and running in months. And they see those results very quickly. And it's really due, the product's pretty easy to use. And it's also due to just the community, those people out there sort of sharing best practices, our partner community working with them, with our customers to get off the ground and really get to a successful CLM launch.
Next up, Jerry Levine, Chief Evangelist and General Counsel, and Atena Rehani, Chief Product Officer at ContractPod AI.
I'm Jerry Levine, Chief Evangelist and General Counsel here at ContractPod AI. With me today is my colleague, Atena Rehani, our Head of Product and Chief Product Officer. ContractPod AI, as you just asked, is a market-leading legal platform for contract management and contract lifecycle management powered by AI. We've been in this market for 10 years. We've been doing AI longer than most of our competitors, and we're really proud of what we've accomplished. Recently, we've begun building more and more exciting additions to our legal platform, including what we launched yesterday, which is a standalone version of our market-leading AI, Leah, for general legal use, whether in-house or if you're outside counsel. You're now able to take the power of Leah and use her across your entire line of legal work and across the entire business to benefit everyone, whether sales, procurement, legal, finance, whoever you need. We're there to support you from a legal side and from a general knowledge side.
So AI is one of our foundational part of our R&D and product strategy. We have a lot of features and functionality that is driven by AI, and we have embedded the generative AI and the power of GPT into the product for the CLM product. And recently we released a standalone version of Leah that is extending our capabilities of generative AI beyond contracts to other use cases such as merger and acquisition, litigation, legal transaction, and many, many more. And with the power of generative AI, what we're doing is that we're bringing that review, drafting, and analysis of legal documents to legal teams and law firms, and have the ability to bringing many use cases and extracting very critical legal information for our customers.
So other than the fact that we're the only contract lifecycle management company and AI company that has both Jerry Levine and Atena Rehani working at it, we really do. I'm a former customer of ContractPod AI, and I've been in the AI space as a lawyer for almost 10 years now, where I was previously general counsel of a class-leading conversational AI platform. And, one of the things that really drives this, that makes us into what I believe is the best, and like I said, I left my prior job to come here and join the team after being a customer, was because the team is really dedicated to making lawyers, legal teams, and their enterprises into making them better, making them more effective, making them more knowledgeable, making them more super. I like to say that one of our goals is to make legal teams and lawyers and paralegals, all of us, into superheroes. And I think that's really the core of it. Beyond that, I do believe we've got a fantastic interface. We've got a great extraction tool. And with Leah and our new technologies that we're rolling out, both our classic AIs and our generative AI functionality, we're able to dive deeper, provide better insights into contracts, provide better insights into the entire legal process, whether you're in-house or outside. And ultimately, the goal is everybody drives better results in the business by having a better legal process and a better enterprise process.
We hear next from Vishal Sunak, CEO of the CLM company LinkSquares, who's been a guest on this podcast in the past.
Hey, I'm Vishal Sunak, CEO, founder of LinkSquares. LinkSquares is an end-to-end contract management platform, all parts of the contract lifecycle delivered through amazing software. Really exciting announcement here at CLOC. LinkSquares seeing a big vision to continue to build amazing multi-solutions for the general counsel and all the things that they need to do. So we're announcing LinkSquares Cloud here, which is really amazing. And the vision of our first new CLM adjacent product, intake and request ticketing product called Prioritize, which is already available to see and it will be in general availability at the end of Q2. We're really excited about those things. Really great to support the CLOC community here and great to see it full and packed all the days here. It's been really wonderful. We love the legal team primarily. So if you have a legal team in-house, you're a great fit for us. Really industry agnostic, really company size agnostic. And from the biggest companies in the world, publicly traded, multinational, all the way down to amazing private companies and even kind of traditional businesses as well. So if you have a legal team, you're a great fit. We love to talk. There are so many great providers of software in this world, and no doubt about that. I think we're really special with the hands-on approach we take to white glove implementation, onboarding, making sure we're aligned on what success means. The product has always been built with the legal person in mind. I'm one of the founders of the company. I'm not a lawyer. So we built an amazing company just listening to what people really wanted in this role every single day. So most people find our software to be extremely easy to set up and use. It does not take a many years of implementing, something that you can get extreme fast time to value. You're trying to solve a business problem. We're here to help you with that. And then supported by amazing team in the Boston area and really all over the United States to deliver a great experience. Generative AI is, from what I can see, a moment like the internet had arrived. It really feels that way these days. I think it's such an amazing opportunity to democratize the knowledge that AI can solve amazing business problems. And back in the day when we started the company 8 years ago, even getting people on public cloud infrastructure on AWS, moving software to the cloud may have been like feeling like not moving a mountain. And now with large language models, I feel like everyone is going to get pulled into the modern way of software and the way that it can really help. We're definitely exploring it internally. We have a rule inside the company that we don't really chase shiny objects, but we've prototyped it, built it, working with customers, focus groups, really trying to understand how and what and where we can add value. Ultimately, something that we are tracking really closely, really excited about.
By now in this episode, you may be wondering if every company at CLOC was a CLM company. There were plenty of them for sure, but in this interview we hear from the founder of ECFX, a product for managing court notices.
Hi, my name's Dan O'Day. I am the co-founder of ECFX. Today, when court notices come into a firm, people have to download those notices, distribute them to a team, stick them in a document management system. That takes around 8 minutes. It can take a lot longer. There's a lot of exhibits. We simply automate that, do it in seconds. So that's really the core of what we do. We're really excited to be announcing that we now support 88 different providers, including the ITC, FERC, FINRA, in addition to all the state courts that anyone's ever asked us to do. Plus, we're adding courts of appeals and Supreme Courts in many states. So we really are there to cover 100% of whatever our client needs. We've been working to start extracting the titles out of the documents themselves. It turns out when people file documents, they don't always name them correctly. And so we're working with a partner, Foundation AI, to extract those titles out to get you the proper title out of the PDF. And that really is a game changer for a lot of the firms because they don't have to rename the documents when we do that.
Next, we return to contract lifecycle management with the company Exhibitors.
Well, I'm Bernadette Policon, Chief Evangelist at Exhibitors. We're the leaders in contract and AI-fueled contract intelligence. I like to talk a little bit about contract intelligence because I think there are so many CLMs that are focused on something very important to lawyers, the negotiating and drafting. But what we have found with our enterprise-wide deployments, we're not just in legal, we're with procurement and sales teams and IT teams, is all of that wonderful negotiation work that they've done, all of that great drafting, they have to deliver and perform against that. They need to realize the intent of those agreements. And it's all of that data that's locked in those agreements when handed over to the business, where they're going to realize that intent and realize the purpose of that agreement. And that's the thing that we're most excited about right now. Top of mind for everyone, obviously, is GPT and LLMs. And we're so excited to announce a great partnership that we have with Microsoft Azure Open AI. We want to make sure that we're partnering with the right teams that will ensure security of our customers' data. But what's really exciting and differential for us is that not only do we have the right partner for security purposes and, again, leading some of the most interesting conversations in this space, what's really important, again, are these deep data sets. And I already talked to you about the fact that we're enterprise-wide. So we know that we are training our data sets, not just on contract data that might be in legal, but other enterprise data that might be hidden in an ERP system or a Workday or a CRM. So think about your contract data, all of this ERP data, the power of the commons and all of the data that is training these generative models. And it's just, those are the things that are just really different and being able to do it all in a secure and safe environment. So it's called Explore AI, and we're so excited about how it's going to augment what we've already done with some of our leading proprietary AI. I'll tell you that our ideal audience is the legal department that thinks beyond legal. And I think that's why contracting is such a hot topic here. I said earlier, you can think about the contract and what the lawyers are doing with the contract, but what we want to do is to empower legal to think outside of the legal department and how it's contributing value to, again, the procurement teams, the sales teams, so that to realize that intent. So we work with some of the most incredible enterprises. I think we have 30% of the Fortune 100 using Exhibitors, not just in the legal department, but with procurement teams and outside. And I think that is the future, to think about contracting outside of legal, which is ironic that we're here at a legal conference, but those innovative, really forward-thinking legal operations and GCs, they're thinking about what they can give and how they can empower people outside of the legal department to negotiate and run their own contracting so that they can be free to really think of the more strategic items that law school taught them. So again, our ideal audience, absolutely legal, but it's a certain type of legal team that is thinking beyond the four walls of their legal department.
In this next interview, we speak with Makesh Kumar, Chief Product Officer and co-founder of Simply Contract.
Simply Contract is an end-to-end CLM platform. We do both the authoring and the contract management piece in contracting. We have two legs of contracting. It's an end-to-end platform. Simple, easy to use, and with an element of AI for the intelligence. We just raised our pre-Series A funding, $3.5 million. Investors based out of Bay Area. Super excited. Trying to scale the product on the AI side to the next level, cover more market in the US and Europe. From an ideal customer perspective, we work with enterprise clients and medium enterprise clients. I used to work in Microsoft before, the founders, so we know the enterprise side of story, the complexities that are built into. So we are laser focused on that segment from a revenue perspective. We also have a focus on the industry. We are focused on tech, services companies, and retail at this point of time. And we are venturing into industrial engineering at this point of time. What sets us apart? Good. We have a seesaw anecdote, when we call it. The product is absolutely configurable, easy to change to evolving needs of enterprises, reduces risk of go-live. You can go live faster because it's configurable, easy to get done. It's intelligent. We have elements of AI across data extraction, clause extraction, very targeted use cases that provide ROI for the client in terms of extracting data and value out of the contracts. It's simple and easy to use. We are business folks selling to business folks. So legal teams, sales teams, procurement teams, they need a product that's simple and easy to use. And of course, we are affordable. So that's the seesaw anecdote.
This next company, Zycus, offers a CLM product that includes an AI engine it calls Merlin.
My name is Bill Dyer, Regional Vice President with Zycus. We offer a full lifecycle CLM, which is Contract Lifecycle Management Solution. So in short, what that means is everything from a basic contract request through redlining and negotiation, storage in our repository of that contract, and then handling all the reporting and renewals that come up. When that contract comes up for renewal, we handle that complete, what we call the wheel, or the life cycle of that agreement. Where we're a little bit different than the competition that you may have been looking at today is we have something called our Merlin AI engine. And what that does is a lot of customers come to us where they have to do contracts with their customers that insist that they use their third-party paper contracts. So that creates quite a burden for the legal team that's trying to negotiate a contract because it's not their terms and conditions, it's not their clauses, that type of thing. So what our system does is ingest that paper into our AI engine. It does the heavy lifting for those attorneys, and it bubbles up where there might be risks in doing business with this particular customer. That's a lot I just threw at you there, but the bottom line is all of this, we all pretty much do the same thing. The Merlin AI, the managing third-party paper is where we really deliver the value at this point in time, where everyone is in technology, and that's our AI engine that really drives, it compresses that whole cycle from the moment a sales rep creates a contract request all the way through when it finally gets signed. Some companies come to us and say, Bill, it's taken us 4, 5, 6 months to get a contract done from start to finish. To the extent you can compress that cycle, that saves companies money, is because then you got a contract signed, you're driving revenue from that, so on and so forth. But it's our Merlin AI engine that really is the separator right now. We have Chat GPT on our roadmap. We don't have anything specific around it right now because it's all brand new. Everyone's trying to get their arms around it. But we've had some product development discussions in the last couple of months on it, but nothing specific right now.
While CLM companies focus on the full contracting lifecycle, this next company, Robin AI, tackles pre-signature drafting and negotiation.
I'm Richard Robinson, CEO and founder of Robin AI. We're a legal technology business, and we've made a co-pilot for contracts. It's a tool that helps people draft and negotiate contracts really, really quickly. So our ideal user is really an in-house legal team, companies with maybe a 5-person legal team up to about 150 people who are drowning in contracts. That's really who we serve. And what sets our product apart is that it's not a CLM. These big CLM systems are systems that are designed to handle the entire contracting process. They're really complicated, really expensive, really big. You have to take the whole thing at once. What we do is build different software systems that help you with specific problems using the latest technologies like LLMs. And so you can take just what you need. It's fast, it's flexible, it's really affordable. We've partnered with Anthropic, who are a competitor to OpenAI, a major foundation model provider, and they have the safest generative model in the world. We are one of their launch partners. We've integrated their model into our application. So you can use a chat interface to communicate with your contracts, to ask for simplifications, summaries, translations, explanations, all sorts of things. But that's really just the beginning. We've got some really exciting features coming over the next couple of months that take that to the next level, really demonstrate the close integration of software and LLMs to achieve incredible results. So for instance, you'll be able to take a contract in Spanish or French or Italian, produce a side-by-side translation with English. You can edit the English version and we'll automatically edit the Spanish version. No system in the world today can really tackle that kind of problem. These are the kind of things that are possible now that we have LLMs. Just yesterday, we released our co-pilot product into the product. So you can go on our website, robinai.co.uk. You can try our product today, including using Anthropic's model to communicate with your contracts. So you don't have to trust us. You don't need to train the model on your own documents. You can just give it a try for yourself, see what you think.
We next hear about Allo, a product by Big Fork Tech, which is an all-in-one platform for legal, project, and contract management.
Allo is a contract management, lifecycle management, matter management, project management system. It's basically, I call it the whole legal department system. It's meant to manage the work that comes in the door from intake to post-execution or post-compliance, the nuts and bolts of what we do as in-house lawyers on a day-to-day. We're a fairly new product, so we don't have a whole bunch of new announcements. We did just release our 2.0 version a few months ago, and it is really great advancement to where we were before, and I think it's very intuitive and easy to use, and the interface is much prettier now. Most of our customers are mid-sized companies that have a variety of different types of matters and contracts that they do. They're not 100% sales contracts or 100% vendor contracts. They're sort of across the board. What sets us apart is we are our number one client. So Christine and I started the company because we, as in-house lawyers with over 50 years combined experience of in-house practice, we couldn't find what we wanted. And so we went and built it.
You've heard from a number of legal tech companies, but this next interview is with Axiom, the global alternative legal services provider.
Hi, my name is Derek Han. I'm currently the Vice President of Product Management over at Axiom. Axiom is a legal service provider. What we do is really help in-house counsels at major, let's call it Fortune 500 companies around the world, providing them lawyers and attorneys for all of their different practice areas they need services in, and specialized matters they need to help address. What we wanted to really understand is how legal hiring has been evolving and changing, especially in today's recessionary economy. And we wanted to dive pretty deep in terms of understanding how legal leaders, both in-house counsels and legal ops professionals, are looking for different methods to really address their acute hiring pains. This is obviously given the budget cuts, the attrition, the hiring freezes, and furthermore, just the overall, let's call it staffing shortages they're already currently experiencing. I guess the key takeaways is, as we all suspected, budget cuts and hiring freezes are not going away. The need for additional legal services continue to rise. And surprisingly, the vast majority of both legal ops and in-house counsel are starting to look toward digital platforms for their hiring needs. And what we found interesting was that it's not only for, the usual suspects, let's call it regulatory compliance, commercial and contract law, but increasingly so more complex matters such as M&A and new emerging practice areas. And, we can cover some pretty important things in terms of what they really need from this platform to make it effective and have it be, let's call it a default option moving forward. Our target users are really in-house counsel and any companies that need legal staffing support, legal ops professionals as well. And why would someone choose Axiom, especially in a time like this, is because of the flexibility we provide. I think purely from the quantity of lawyers on our bench, over 14,000 globally, and the quality of our lawyers, given the fraction of a rate of traditional tried and true services such as law firms, gives us a really good leg up in terms of what people may need. Furthermore, I'll add just the flexibility we can provide, given the transitory needs of a lot of legal matters at hand, really puts Axiom at the forefront in terms of how in-house counsel and legal ops professionals should think about Axiom.
Also attending CLOC were several e-discovery companies. Case in point is CasePoint, our next interview.
I'm Jessica Robinson. I'm the VP of Operations for CasePoint. And CasePoint is essentially an enterprise-level, full EDRM tool. We go from legal hold all the way through to production. And it's all in one seamless line. So you never have to remove any data from that particular tool. We are, again, I can't stress this enough, we're an enterprise tool. So we fit with enterprises who want to take control of their data, want to take control of the process around their data for security reasons and other things like that. We're really excited. We just released our new chat viewer. Now, it sounds boring because, it's a chat viewer, but no. This is a chat viewer that actually changes the game. We can pull directly from Slack, in fact, a lot of integrated collaboration tools. And what we've done is we've normalized the view on that. It actually looks like it looks in chats so that you can better review it. We can parse at any part of the day. We can basically remove chats as a quote unquote redaction, but in particular for the tool. So at production time, you're not producing a bunch of garbage, and we can view attachments. And it's really, seriously, we have solved that problem. It's done. We're done. We have solved the chat viewing review problem.
Awesome. So that's probably going to be tied into my next question. But so this, do you want to tell me a bit about if someone's choosing a solution, what sets you apart from your competition, and sort of what your value props are?
Sure. So again, I'm going to say we're enterprise level. We are the solution for those people. And we admit we're not the solution for everyone. But what we do give you is the power of a very strong platform that you can build off of. And, you can take it as complex as you want or as simple as you want. But we are there to really solve the problems that need to be solved because we come from those problems, essentially those technical issues. Like, how do you do this? Like, many of the people at CasePoint have been firefighters, litigation, champions and all that kind of stuff. And so we've just dug in on really practical ways to advance technology to solve those problems.
And then ChatGPT and generative AI is all the buzz right now.
Yeah.
Is it something that you feel has a place within CasePoint? Is it something you guys plan on adopting or not?
Yeah, so we look at everything in terms of new technology. We tend to keep our technology and build it ourselves or work with people so that we have control over what we're putting out. ChatGPT, it has absolute use case right now for e-discovery. It's not like going to solve all the problems right now. Right? It's not this auto push button that everybody's still looking for, because that's never going to be the case. We're in legal. There has to be analysis around it. And with chat and any of the LLM models, any of the generative AI, there has to be, I keep saying the word guardrails, but that's like a buzzword now, and that's not what it is. There has to be a safe way to implement. And so that's what we're working on, right? So again, we work for enterprise companies, and it's about how do we integrate this workflow, integrate this thing into what you're doing so it actually solves your use case. And that's what we're looking for. Now, the use case for it in e-discovery right now and how we would be as an analysis tool. After you've used our already advanced and powerful analytics to get to your corpus of records and documents, then a wonderful use case for it is to give an analysis on that, review it, and give us a what do you call those things? Summary. Give us a summary on it. Or does this fit the facts of my case and how? Or reviewing other people's productions to you, saying, okay, what's possible? This is the framing of the case. What's their possible arguments given this evidence? So it's that kind of use case, and that's what we would be like if we're looking at it, which we are. That's how we're looking at how do we integrate it into the tool in a useful use case that's actually safe.
You're listening to a series of LawNext interviews recorded on the conference floor at the recent CLOC Global Institute in Las Vegas. We have plenty more interviews to come, so stay with us. But first, take a moment to learn about the sponsors who support LawNext. Running a law firm can be complex and demanding, with so many moving parts that need to be managed efficiently. Bill for Time offers a comprehensive legal management solution to help you keep everything in one place. Bill for Time allows you to easily track time, automate billing, create and share documents, and process online payments, all from one centralized location. Don't settle for less. Visit billfortime.com today to learn more about how Bill for Time can take your practice to the next level. That's time.com. Welcome back to LawNext. Our producer Ben Ambrogi recorded this series of brief interviews with legal tech companies that were exhibiting at the CLOC Global Institute in Las Vegas in May. In this next interview, he speaks with Hanzo, a company whose products help enterprise legal, governance, and compliance teams manage collaboration and web-based data.
Hanzo is a company that really caters to enterprise clients. We have two product lines. One is for financially regulated industries, where we are basically crawling websites and dynamically capturing those websites for playback capabilities. So anyone in the financially regulated industries or regulated industries that have to go back at points in time and actually look up data and dynamically capture that information, things like interest rates, language that's used on a site, at a point in time can be drawn back up and demonstrated in court or exported out as a report. That's one product line. Our other product line is a classic collaboration tool to capture data. So we started with Slack back in 2018, 2019. That was kind of our Cadillac product, collecting data from Slack for our clients for legal, for internal investigations, for HR investigations. We've broadened the horizons of that platform out to include things like Teams, Asana, Google Workspace, Jira, Confluence. So lots of data sources at the end of the day to collect from. Mainly, like I said, investigations, HR investigations, internal investigations, and of course, legal. It's a big place where we play. Around Legal Week, so back in March, I guess, feels like a million years ago, but back in March, we were talking about, we had a bunch of new connectors at that point in time. So we launched Teams around that point in time. We also have a new product it's a new feature called Spotlight Plus. And Spotlight Plus for us is really kind of the entree to AI. At the end of the day, we are a partner of IBM and IBM Watson X, which was announced last week. And so we're really taking a kind of a crawl, walk, run strategy to this. And how that works is essentially using Watson through collaborative data to look for things like categorization of content across channels. So vast amounts of information, rapidly kind of showing you what that data is all about. So I've got a channel with 55,000 messages in it. What are people talking about? So we're really leveraging Watson on that area to categorize that information and really pull it forward for our clients to pull that out. The other thing is kind of classic PII detection as well in collaborative data. People think it doesn't exist, but it does. So being able to draw that out and be able to demonstrate that and display it to our clients really quickly. So those are two of the big announcements. The other announcement was what's called Command Center. So Command Center for us is a 100% dedicated Slack application that allows our clients to put people on legal hold in both Slack and Google Workspace and on Teams. This is on a Slack application. So for those people who are kind of using the systems transactionally, who might be logged in every couple of weeks, maybe once a month, we work them through the workflow. They stay inside of Slack, which they're always in anyway. So they draw up the application. They're able to create a matter, put custodians on hold, and actually kick off collections of data, all from within. So that's Command Center. Classically for us, it's going to be an enterprise. So enterprises for us, obviously big clients, we're able to handle a lot of data. So our clients are, we're really serving up hundreds of millions of messages for content and things like that. So that's kind of our sweet spot at the end of the day is enterprise clients normally have, larger enterprise licenses connecting through APIs and things like that. So that's kind of the ideal place where we sit. But anyone in the, regulated industries as well for our Chronicle product line, usually enterprise as well. You're seeing a lot of enterprises that have to deal with that, pharma, tech, whoever has to basically archive that information and draw it back up for compliance at some point in time. Well, one thing is on enterprise is the scale of information that we have to deal with. So that's an important factor. A lot of people say, oh yeah, we can deal with it. The fact of the matter is we're dealing with really large enterprises that have hundreds of thousands of employees. And you can imagine how much collaborative data is being applied there. So we really scale to a really large enterprise scale at the end of the day. But also the other thing that's important now, and I think you're going to ask about AI technology. We've seen a lot of information being thrown around on AI. And in that way, this partnership with Watson that we have is really important. Number one, it's an embedded AI strategy. It all remains within the tenant, which means your data remains your data. I don't have to make external calls across APIs and things like that. So I'm not moving out to an open AI to ask questions or use large language or train large language models on client data. So that is a strategy that we've taken with IBM. It's really solid. They've been around. Watson obviously has been around a long time. So these guys obviously know what they're talking about in terms of AI technology. Legal is really, we're trying to figure out what to do right now in the legal industry. I think the technology is way ahead of the law itself and where it comes down. Generative for us, there are places where that may be playing, but at the end of the day, I've got to present real information that was derived from real conversations and real documents. And so you can summarize that information and things like that, but I'm not really generating a lot of stuff at the end of the day. I wanted to present the information as it was generated. So for us, it's there are areas where we think it might happen, but right now we're not really focused on the generative part of it.
Contracting software takes many forms, and one important one is review of large document collections for due diligence and other purposes. That is the focus of this next company you'll hear from, eBrevia.
Hi, I'm Tori Kim. I am the Director of Partnerships and Strategic Growth with eBrevia, which is an AI-powered contract analytics platform. We use AI to parse through contracts and other documents and extract key data points from those documents to help expedite the process of reviewing, whether in the course of due diligence or for other types of contract management and other reviews. We actually are looking to incorporate large language models into the way that our product is going to operate moving forward. So we do have some new features on the product roadmap that are going to be leveraging LLMs. And we think that there's a lot of opportunity for that type of technology to really enhance what our offering is at the time. But our core AI is machine learning and natural language processing. One exciting piece of news is we recently released a new integration with NetDocuments. We know a number of our customers were using NetDocuments to store and manage documents. And so having the integration with our system really enables them to streamline the process of pulling documents over and analyzing them using eBrevia's AI. And the other exciting piece of news that I can announce is a new feature that we have related to tracking contract end dates and renewal notice periods and renewals. It's our calendar feature, which essentially allows users to link up their eBrevia projects with their internal calendars, whether that be Outlook calendar or Google calendar, and track their dates directly in the calendars that they're using on the day-to-day. So eBrevia will populate that calendar with those key dates, and they'll be able to track them along with notifications there so they don't miss any key dates as they're going through in the course of business. eBrevia is industry agnostic, and we really work with folks across the board. Our client base is corporate legal departments, but also folks in procurement, folks who are just generally managing contracts within the organization. We also work with law firms, mid-sized, large law firms, as well as audit and consulting firms and other reviewing service providers who conduct reviews. In terms of differentiators, there are a number of features within our tool that really play to that, including our grouping feature, which really enables teams that are dealing with documents that are related in some way, whether that is, having multiple amendments or, core agreements that have any ancillary documents, being able to expedite the review of those documents altogether. That's a really great differentiating feature that really assists our clients in the course of review. But on top of that, I'd say one of the biggest differentiators for our company is really the level of service, customer service and support that we provide to our clients. Every single customer is provided with a designated project manager who is a former practicing corporate attorney. So they really understand the pain points that our customers are going through. And we really do make quite a strong effort, not only to be there to provide support and training to our customers, but also to incorporate their feedback into our roadmap and ensure that what the product is kind of putting out there is really addressing the needs of our customers as those needs arise.
While eBrevia helps with the review of sets of contracts, this next company, LexCheck, aims to accelerate the review and negotiation of individual contracts.
I'm Damian Black, the head of marketing at LexCheck. And what LexCheck is a software that automatically redlines contracts according to an organization's negotiation guidelines, and it delivers issues lists in minutes. We do this with AI-powered technology that ensures consistency across every contract that a company is reviewing, and that helps them save time and reduce risk regardless of a reviewer's skill level. We're really excited about some key updates. We have just welcomed a new VP of product with a really great AI experience and background. That's Vishal Singhania. And then we also released 2 new products coming into CLOC. We have a new contract playbook that is for SaaS agreements or any software license agreements. And we have a new private equity NDA playbook.
Let me start by introducing myself. I'm Vishal Singhania, VP of Product at LexCheck. It's so excited to be here at the CLOC event, with such a great community. What a great way to fast track my learning from all the diverse people who are here. I bring in a lot of natural language processing, which is a field of AI experience across unstructured text data. And now I'm here to apply the same thing for legal contracts. So really excited. Absolutely. My key observation from the conference is same as yours. Everyone at the floor is talking about AI, and absolutely AI has been in our DNA as a LexCheck. We have been very early on using AI. The combination of AI and the rule-based engine we use is actually provides a very consistent, safe application of AI for our product. As Damien said, we do the redlining, which is consistent based on the negotiation terms. And we will keep pushing the envelope on AI to further our product. Like example, like generative AI is a great way to solve a lot of use cases in legal, and legal is a semi-structured document which can benefit from generative AI, large language models. What my one observation here is, a lot of people talk about AI, but it is more generic use of generically available AI. I see a less of proprietary AI which is put to use for specific use cases. So I'm really excited that within LexCheck, we will continue to work in a way where it makes sense to apply the AI in a safe, scalable, and consistent manner. It could be generative AI, it would be large language models which are fine-tuned to a particular use case, built in-house, and that's the way to go. So we want to really double down on proprietary AI based on the use cases of our customers.
So I think what really sets LexCheck apart in this space is that we started developing this technology back in 2015, and we spent a lot of time creating this proprietary AI that really helps to solve the contracting issues for in-house teams. So you asked the question about who our users are, our target audience. It's split across a couple of different things. One is in-house counsel. We're really trying to help them to automate a lot of the tedious processes that they do in NDA redlining and those SaaS contracts that I mentioned, like those high volume, lower priority type of contracts that are still meaningful. The other type of...
So in addition to what Damon said, we also are product which could be used by the attorneys who are helping the in-house general counsel for their overflow work. So LexCheck can really reduce the review time by doing deep, consistent redlining, high quality redlining, which basically cuts the review time and impacts the overall negotiation timeline, accelerates it. And then definitely, as we are in this ecosystem, we are all in there together, and there's a lot of partnership opportunities for us to play together with other products and platforms. We may have one piece of the puzzle, other people may have others, and we can all together solve the puzzle. So I'm really excited about tons of opportunities. And look, I talked to sort of a lot of people here in the conference, and we see that there is a lot of opportunities for us across the board, across different stakeholders, and really excited about that.
And for the second point that on the audience that we're serving is the sales side, the business side of these processes. Because one of the key themes that I've seen here at the conference is that a lot of the legal ops people are here to understand how they can accelerate business processes, especially for sales, making them self-service as well. And that's an area that LexCheck can really help with the playbooks by helping them review those agreements that are holding up sales processes. They can give the responsibility to the sales side of the business and let them work a little more autonomously. But with having legals backing and approval on those playbooks so that they're still able to manage risk without having to be as involved in the process.
Next up is the CLM company SpotDraft, which recently announced an integration with Microsoft Word.
So my name is Rohit. I'm the co-founder and chief product officer here at SpotDraft. We are an end-to-end contract lifecycle management solution used by folks like Airbnb, Notion, Strava, ChargeBee, etc., etc. From a product strategy perspective at SpotDraft, we're big believers in meeting the users where they're most comfortable with. And just on May 10th, we ended up releasing news about our integration with Microsoft Word, right? So users who are using SpotDraft can actually end up going on to opening up and reviewing contracts within Word without leaving the SpotDraft interface, which ends up further streamlining the entire contracting process because, as you know, lawyers, people in the legal profession, they love using Word, and we want to make sure that, using Spotcraft and using Word has just become that much easier. The entire world of generative AI is super duper interesting for us. That said, though, we're big believers in not building AI for the sake of AI with any technology, and AI is not different. It needs to be woven in with the overall product itself. And again, be built in such a way that it's easy for users to use, understand, and get value out of. So we're actually experimenting very, very heavily in this space, right? And we have a bunch of features out in beta right now on the generative AI space to help people temporize their contracts a lot easier, to help people review contracts faster, quickly be able to see past variations of contracts that have been executed, be able to ask questions like, what are the contracts that have been, what are my past contracts where I don't have the right to publicity in the UK, and just getting an answer for it, irrespective of whether the data has been tagged or not. So whole bunch of interesting use cases. We're sort of piloting with several of our customers right now. And yeah, people can always join in for the beta waitlist. We work with forward-looking companies of all sizes, all the way from like mid-market to enterprise. Within a company, we're built by lawyers, and we end up like, they're like a primary audience and users that we really sort of cater to. Inevitably, decision makers for us are head of legal ops, people working in legal ops, sometimes a GC at like smaller companies. So we definitely feel like we're at the right place. And contract lifecycle management is obviously like a growing segment. There are a lot of us out there. What really sets us apart from everyone else is, one is our overall integration strategy and meeting users where they're at. Because if you look at a CLM and it's only used by the legal team, the value is somewhat limited. But we end up getting the entire organization on board by building out integrations with the tools that are used by the business teams, so that change management and things like that become a lot more easier and people see value a lot faster. That's one thing. And then the other big piece about it is when it comes to implementation, we have a full lift on the implementation side where we take care of everything. And we end up getting implementation done in under 6 weeks, which, is huge, because one of the big reasons why there are a lot of CLM companies out there that are massive, and not to take any names, but they also take like years to fully finish implementing, which to us is crazy, because we want to make sure people see value as quickly as possible.
Yeah, awesome.
Earlier, we heard from the ALSP Axiom. Another global legal services provider in attendance at CLOC was Epic. Let's hear from them.
This is Peter Eilhauer. I'm the Managing Director of Products for Legal Transformation Services at Epic, which is a big mouthful. What Epic is focused on, large alternative legal service provider, probably best known in the litigation space, where we do everything end-to-end from hosting, collection, hosting, processing, review, and the like. What Legal Transformation Services is everything else, everything other than litigation. And so we're working across the corporate law departments in commercial contracting and legal operations, flexible legal talent, regulatory and compliance, and I think I'm missing one, but we're basically all across the entire spectrum. So that's why we're here at CLOC today. We have 3 announcements this week. The first is we're bringing on board a new Chief Marketing Officer, Nicole Giantonio, one of my friends and formerly from Elevate. And so we're excited to have her on board. We just released an announcement around our support, Epic support of Sally, which is a legal standard. And we've been using both on our law firm and our law department side. We've been using the Sally standard. We've been aligning the work that we're doing in data analytics and data strategy with our corporates and our law firms. We've been aligning that to the Sally standard. We're looking forward to working with them further in building out their ontology. And then third announcement is we've been working with one of our relationships, Evisort, to develop a set of use cases around data privacy and M&A. This is in the contract space. And so we've developed a set of dashboards to help bring to life and visualize some of the work that we're doing with that company. The place that Epic fills in the legal market is one of the largest ALSPs, and we're trusted with client data across a variety of forms. We have to kind of be the adults in the room. We have to make sure that we're using generative AI in the right way, and that we're being thoughtful when we do use it. And so right now we're exploring generative AI. In the coming weeks, we're going to be releasing our opinion on where it fits and how it can be used. We are being cautious about how we intend to use it. I think that's right for Epic and what we do. Target audience here at CLOC. So we are, as I said, we're working with large law departments. We are working with law departments and law firms as across our entire organization. Here at CLOC, we've got a team focused on the corporate legal operations sector, commercial contracts, flexible legal talent, data analytics, spend analytics, and legal business advisory. So that's where we're focused for corporates. I think differentiators. So as I said, we're really well known in the litigation space and the discovery space. We have many hundreds of clients that work with us on a daily basis. And so I think some of the differentiators, which is what we're promoting with our Epic Access platform. So that was a platform that we built to facilitate work being done in the litigation space. And we see this as an opportunity to expand that platform to be used more broadly across the corporate legal department. So I think being able to differentiate using a platform to support some of the services, some of the applications and the partners that we work with, I think that's key to our strategy working with large corporates.
This next company, AO Docs, offers an all-in-one platform for managing contracts, matters, entities, and IP.
So I'm Stéphane Donze. I'm the founder of AO Docs. AO Docs is a cloud-based document management company, and we have a product for legal teams called AO Legal. AO Legal is a contracts management platform. We have other legal processes such as case management, IP portfolio, entity management, and pretty much any kind of document processes you have in legal team we can implement, because our underlying platform is extremely flexible. So we can adapt the workflow, we can adapt the document processing rules to your own needs. Let's say, for example, your company has contracts both in legal and procurement, and you have two different workflows. That's typically the kind of flexibility that we can very, very easily implement. In terms of new features, we have recently integrated with ChatGPT, with OpenAI for contracts processing. So we do contracts analysis. We apply your playbook to any incoming contract. Say you have incoming NDAs, and your playbook says that you only accept mutual NDAs, and you only accept NDAs that are less than three years in duration, and you want, non-use provisions. We can check all of this as contracts arrive, evaluate your checklist automatically based on the AI, and then give you the output. And it's, again, extremely flexible. We can adapt it to any kind of contract, any kind of playbook. We're targeting more corporate legal teams that have not necessarily a huge amount of resources to process their contracts and workflows. So we do a lot of automation, and we can help them save a lot of time. We're cloud-based, so we are very easy to integrate. We have connectors with DocuSign, Adobe Sign, Salesforce. Any kind of cloud solution you have, we can hook into very easily. So integration is easy. Let's say mid-market companies, corporate legal teams working for mid-market companies is a sweet spot for us.
Next is a company, Paragon, that helps legal departments when they need temporary or interim lawyers, such as to cover a maternity leave.
So my name is Easton McFerrin, and Paragon Legal is an alternative legal services provider. We provide flexible in-house legal talent for corporate legal departments. We offer this on a really flexible interim basis. Our clients use us for a number of reasons: to cover a maternity leave, a paternity leave, also to account for legal hiring gaps or knowledge or skill set gaps as well. So folks who need to implement a CLM and they don't have the time to do it with their internal in-house team, they outsource that work to us on a really flexible basis, whether that's 10 hours a week, 40 hours a week, for 6 months or for 3 weeks. We're here to fill those gaps in an easy and meaningful way. A couple of things set us apart. The first thing that sets us apart is that we are really focused on diversity, inclusion, and belonging. We are a women-founded and women-led company. In fact, over 80% of our corporate management team are women, and our diversity demographics on our attorney team blow the industry standards out of the water as well. In fact, while diversity is a pillar for us, it's also something that we act on. In fact, just last year in 2022, we launched our Career Connect program, where Paragon sponsors a law student from an underserved community to help them to land an in-house job right outside of law school. So we currently have 2 wonderful team members who are on project with 2 of our clients. We do this at an at-cost basis, so we're not making money off of this. This is just because it's something that's really important to our team. Another main differentiator from Paragon, and other ALSPs, we have a dedicated attorney development resource whose sole job is to make sure that our attorneys feel supported and have the resources necessary to do a great job while they're on project. We don't like to just set it and forget it and hope for the best. We take an embedded approach. So this has really helped us to retain our talent. In fact, we've had some team members on the Paragon team for over 10 years. So those are 2 of the primary things that sets Paragon apart.
This next company is unlike any other we spoke to. Its focus is on translation and localization of content and data on a global basis.
My name's Jackie Kelly, and I'm with We Localize, which is a translation and localization partner for the legal and whether that's corporate or law firm. And we specialize in AI-backed translation workflows with the expert humans behind the scenes to make sure we have comprehensive, creative solutions to support our clients' needs and deliver success. So I think for us, we are driven by quality, and our history in general for legal is IP and patent filing, EP validation. And so the experts and the solutions that are needed to create those workflows to support what success looks like in that regard is often extremely comprehensive. And I think that utilizing that as a backbone to then providing a litigation service offering as well, from an MT perspective, a human validation or certification, and what that looks like in comparison to a big data set, right? Involving foreign languages, cross-border M&A, and what that really looks like, and when it matters, and when the budget aligns with, where that's falling in the EDRM spectrum. Whereas on the IP patent side, really having a backbone in that history of that expert niche delivery perspective, I think really comes with being trusted by whether it's our law firm clients or our corporate partner clients as well, to support their biggest asset, which is IP.
And generative AI and LLMs have been sort of the buzzword recently. Is it something that you guys plan to be incorporating into your product?
Absolutely. I think that's a great question. So it's currently a solution we are providing for some of our clients in regards to training LLM for their corporate needs. And I think transitioning that into how we can partner with our law firm clients or our corporate legal departments in regards to training their LLMs and backing into what that solution is, or is it an API perspective into what they're already investing in, whether it's Harvey AI, ChatGPT, etc. So really providing a creative solution.
Another ALSP in attendance at CLOC was Exigent. We hear next from them.
My name's Simon. I'm the Global Director for Client Success at Exigent. So Exigent is a legal services and technology company. Essentially, we're an ALSP, an extension of a legal operations team or a legal department, corporate legal department. So we help them to optimize the way that they operate through technology and people. So we have a team of people based in South Africa who are paralegals through to senior attorneys, data scientists, technologists, a whole range of skills which would sort of form any law firm or legal department. then we have a technology stack that we have where we have proprietary technology and use AI to extract information from contracts and then help to analyze that information in contracts so that people can do a range of things like ingesting information in contracts to their CLM tools, or they might have unique one-off projects where they need to analyze contracts and find specific clauses or information within those contracts, or they may want to understand the risk within their portfolio within specific contracts. So that's how we're applying sort of AI. With sort of generative AI, we are exploring and experimenting. We haven't really implemented that into any of our solutions as yet, but we've sort of got an early adopters team who are testing and just sort of seeing how that may apply in the future. The way that we've been sort of typically asked to work with our clients is to start to be very outcomes focused. So we're seeing that corporate legal departments are trying to do a few things, a range of things, but essentially improve productivity, reduce costs, find efficiency, and look at ways they can implement technology within their organisation. So I think Exigent, our differentiator is we are essentially an extension of any legal department who integrates technology as part of the service. So we're essentially like a really large managed service that can sort of support any legal team on a range of issues, basically.
For our last two interviews, we returned to CLM, first hearing from Cobblestone, a CLM platform available either in the cloud or on premises.
And just to introduce myself, my name is Ashley Lang, and I'm a sales rep here at Cobblestone. And just to give a little overview about our product, we are a full lifecycle contract management solution, and we can be deployed via cloud or on-premise. Full lifecycle includes everything from drafting your own contracts using an unlimited number of templates within the system, as well as the clause library, to even editing contracts within our system using our online editor, as well as the clause library. We also just newly introduced a web word plugin, which allows for concurrent editing. So that's something that we're really excited about. You also have the ability to route documents for full approvals with automated alerts within the system to loop everyone from your organization into the contract management process. In addition to that, we also offer our own e-signature tool if you need to send documents out for signature, in addition to also having a free connector to DocuSign, Adobe Sign, and Sign Now. As long as you have accounts with any of those providers, they are seamlessly connected to Cobblestone. And then we also offer a centralized repository that's fully searchable and reportable as well. And then some notable things I wanted to mention in our latest update, we did just introduce that new word plugin, so we're super excited about that. And another thing that we just introduced a few months ago is our new auto redline tool. So we're super excited about both of those items. We're always trying to improve our AI functionality, and the auto redline tool is part of improving that AI functionality. I'm not too sure about that item specifically. That's something that I would have to check in with our developers to see if that's on the roadmap or not. I'm on the sales side. Some of the core things that I think sets us apart, the first being is our implementation process. We do all of our implementation in-house for the most part, and we have a very collaborative implementation process. We don't just put you in front of a Wikipedia page to read or YouTube videos. We work one-on-one with you to try to develop those different templates, your workflow processes, and configure the system to really meet your needs. Another thing I'd like to mention is our system is super user-friendly, so you don't need any coding background or IT background to be able to use our system. We have a super friendly UI, so once we teach you how to use it, you'll be able to do it all on your own.
Last but certainly not least of our interviews is Contract Safe, a contract management platform that emphasizes simplicity, affordability, and ease of use.
We are a cloud-based contracts management system. Our ideal customer is really one of two scenarios. Either you're moving from a manual system or you are right-sizing from perhaps overcorrecting with a larger CLM. Where we rank particularly highly is ease of use. If you check out any third-party review sites, you'll see that. Along with that kind of comes simplicity and affordability. So we don't have a lot of the bells and whistles that you're not going to need, and that means you're also not paying for a lot of bells and whistles you're not going to need. Our ideal user, again, is really looking for the right size contract solution. Obviously just looking around this room, it's a really crowded marketplace. our customers know what they need, but they also know what they don't need. Again, we really come at this from a simplicity and ease of use perspective. So our customers are looking for an easy spot to keep their contracts organized, easily report, track dates, manage pre-execution, the approvals, and e-sign process. We try to be accessible so, the average person in your company is not intimidated by this platform, which also does a lot in comparison.
That does it for our CLOC wrap-up. A big thanks to Ben Ambrogi for conducting today's interviews. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you would like to share your own thoughts or comments on today's show, please do so by tweeting us at LawNext Podcast or by emailing me directly, ambrogi@gmail.com. LawNext is produced, engineered, and edited by Populous Radio. I'm your host, Bob Ambrogi. I hope you'll join us again next time for another episode of LawNext.